Page.
Today, we've got a spicy topic that's been whispered about in the shadows of the guitar gods, the alleged beef between Eric Clapton and Jimmy Page. It's a story of ego, envy, and strings pulled tight. So grab your backstage pass to the drama as we uncover the 30 shocking reasons why Eric Clapton actually hates Jimmy Page. Let the rock and roll controversy unfold. 30. The Yardbirds Showdown. Eric Clapton was a blues purist who wanted to play authentic and raw music, not the poppy and commercial tunes that the Yardbirds were drifting towards. He quit the band in 1965 after they recorded For Your Love, a song that he hated and refused to play live. He thought he was making a bold and noble move, staying true to his artistic vision and integrity, but he soon realized that he might have made a mistake. For Your Love became a huge hit, catapulting the Yardbirds to fame and fortune. Clapton missed out on the money and the glory and had to start from scratch with a new band, John Mayall's Blues Breakers. Meanwhile, his replacement, Jeff Beck, was hailed as a guitar genius and later teamed up with Jimmy Page, another brilliant guitarist who had turned down Clapton's offer to join the Yardbirds. Together, they created some of the most innovative and influential music of the era, blending blues, rock, psychedelia, and heavy metal. Clapton felt betrayed, jealous, and insecure. In his mind, Page and Beck had stolen his style, his riffs, and his legacy. He felt that he had been overshadowed and outshined by his former friends and rivals. 29. Guitar God Rivalry. Clapton and Page are both guitar legends, but they have very different personalities and approaches to music. Clapton is a perfectionist, a loner, and a purist who values quality over quantity and prefers to work on his own or with a small group of trusted collaborators. Page is a visionary, a leader, and a pioneer who likes to experiment with different genres, sounds, and techniques, and enjoys being part of a big and successful band. They have both achieved immense fame and recognition, but they have also faced criticism and controversy. Clapton has been accused of being arrogant, boring, and conservative, and of losing his edge and passion over the years. Page has been accused of being unoriginal, reckless, and occult, and of stealing songs and riffs from other artists. Clapton might not be thrilled about sharing the limelight with Page because he thinks that Page does not deserve it. He thinks that Page is a lesser guitarist who has copied and exploited his style and who has compromised his artistic integrity for commercial success. He thinks that Page is a threat to his reputation and legacy and that he has overshadowed and outperformed him. To Eric Clapton, Page is his nemesis. 28. The Cream of the Crop. Cream was the world's first supergroup. A trio of virtuosos who revolutionized rock music with their fusion of blues, jazz, and psychedelia. They sold millions of records, played in sold-out arenas, and received critical praise. They were the kings of rock in the late 60s, and no one could touch them. Except for one band, Led Zeppelin. Formed by Jimmy Page, a former session musician and Yardbirds guitarist, Zeppelin were the new kids on the block, who took the hard rock formula and added their own twist of folk, heavy metal, and mysticism. They recorded their first album just 1 month before Cream played their farewell gig in 1968 and soon became the biggest band in the world. Page had a problem. He was constantly compared to Eric Clapton, his old friend and rival who had quit the Yardbirds before him. Clapton was widely regarded as the best guitarist of his generation and had a loyal fan base who worshipped him as a god. Page was seen as a copycat, a thief, and a second-rate player who had stolen Clapton's style, riffs, and legacy. This comparison made Page angry as he believed that Clapton was inferior to him. As a guitarist, songwriter, and producer, he sought to prove himself and to establish his own identity and sound. Breaking free from Clapton's influence and contesting his dominance were his goals. He wanted to be the king of rock. 27. Zeppelin's explosive rise. Eric Clapton had a competitive spirit, and he always wanted to be the best guitarist in the world. He had earned the nickname Slowhand for his smooth and precise playing and had a loyal fan base who worshipped him as a god. Cream was also his baby, one of the most influential and successful bands of the late 60s who had revolutionized rock music with their fusion of blues, jazz, and psychedelia. But then came Led Zeppelin, a band that took everything Clapton had done and turned it up to 11. They were louder, heavier, faster, and more adventurous than Cream. They had a charismatic frontman, a powerful drummer, a versatile bassist, and a visionary guitarist. Their songs ranged from hard rock to folk to heavy metal to mysticism. The band had millions of fans, sold-out tours, and record-breaking albums. Clapton couldn't ignore Zeppelin's success, and he couldn't help but feel a bit stung by it. He felt that Zeppelin had overshadowed his legacy and that they had taken his style and made it their own. Zeppelin had challenged his status as the king of rock, and Clapton felt that they had surpassed him in skill, popularity, and innovation. Zeppelin had become his rivals. 26. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame snub. In 1992, the Yardbirds were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame along with Clapton, Page, and Jeff Beck, another Yardbirds guitarist. But there was a twist. Keith Relf, the founder and singer of the Yardbirds, had nominated Page separately as a solo artist for his work with Led Zeppelin and other projects. Relf had died in 1976, but his nomination was revealed at the ceremony. This could have irked Clapton, who had also achieved a lot as a solo artist but was not nominated separately. Relf's favoritism towards Page might have stung Clapton, who wanted more recognition and credit. His contributions to the Yardbirds and rock music seemed ignored by Relf. Jimmy Page had Relf's support. 25. Guitar styles clash. Clapton and Page are two of the most influential guitarists in rock history, but they have very different approaches to the instrument. Clapton is known for his smooth blues style, which combines soulful bends, expressive vibrato, and melodic phrasing. He plays with a clean and warm tone, often using a Gibson Les Paul or SG and a Fender or Marshall amp. Blues legends such as B.B. King, Freddie King, and Robert Johnson have influenced his style. Page is known for his heavy riffs, which mix blues, rock, folk, and metal elements. He plays with a distorted and dynamic tone, often using a Gibson Les Paul or a double-necked SG and a Marshall or Supro amp. He is influenced by rock pioneers like Chuck Berry, Link Wray, and Scotty Moore. Fans have debated whose guitar style is superior and who has more skill, creativity, and impact. Some prefer Clapton's smooth and refined playing, which showcases his technical mastery and emotional depth. Others prefer Page's heavy and adventurous playing, which showcases his versatility and innovation. The debate has been going on for decades, and it may have caused some tension between the two guitar legends who have a long and complicated history of rivalry and friendship. 24. Girl troubles. According to some sources, they both fell for the same woman, a French model named Charlotte Martin, who was also linked to other rock stars such as George Harrison and Mick Jagger. They were not only rivals in music, but also in love. Charlotte met Clapton in 1967 when he was still with Cream, and they had a brief affair. She later moved on to Page, who was then with Led Zeppelin, and they had a long-term relationship that lasted until 1983. They even had a daughter together, Scarlett Page, who became a photographer. The affair between Charlotte and Page reportedly caused some tension between the two guitarists who had already been feuding over their musical careers and styles. Clapton felt betrayed and jealous of Page, who had not only taken his place in the Yardbirds, but also his lover. Page felt insecure and competitive with Clapton, who had been his friend and mentor, but also his rival. The love triangle between Clapton, Page, and Charlotte was one of the many dramas that marked the turbulent and exciting lives of these rock legends. It added fuel to their feud and also inspired some of their songs, such as Clapton's Layla and Page's Thank You. 23. Session musician drama. Before they became rock legends, Clapton and Page were both session musicians, playing on various recordings for other artists. They were in high demand for their skills, versatility, and professionalism. Clapton had an edge over Page, as he was more selective and exclusive in his session work. He only played on songs that he liked and with musicians that he respected. What made him stand out from other guitarists was his distinctive and recognizable style. Page, on the other hand, was more prolific and diverse in his session work. He played on hundreds of songs, ranging from pop to rock to folk to blues. He was a chameleon who could adapt to any genre, style, and sound. Producing songs was also his forte, and he had a flair for improving and arranging them. But Page's versatility and productivity came at a cost. Many of his session works were uncredited and underpaid. Clapton, with a loyal fan base and a strong identity, overshadowed and outperformed him. He was seen as a hired gun who could play anything, but had nothing of his own. Page may have felt overshadowed by Clapton, who had more success and recognition as a session musician. Clapton's respect, admiration, originality, and authenticity might have made him feel inferior. He might have felt that Clapton was his superior. 22. Similar career trajectories. Clapton and Page both had similar career trajectories, but they also had different goals and visions. Clapton wanted to be a bluesman who played authentic and soulful music, inspired by his heroes like B.B. King and Robert Johnson. Page wanted to be a rock star who played diverse and adventurous music, influenced by his idols like Chuck Berry and Link Wray. They both moved from influential bands to solo careers, but they also faced different challenges and opportunities. Clapton struggled with addiction, depression, and tragedy, but he also found redemption, love, and faith. He reinvented himself as a mature and versatile artist who collaborated with legends like Bob Dylan and George Harrison. Page battled with lawsuits, scandals, and injuries, but he also enjoyed fame, wealth, and influence. He established himself as a legendary and innovative producer who worked with artists like David Coverdale and Roy Harper. Clapton might not appreciate the comparisons with Page because he thinks that they are unfair and irrelevant. Different styles, tastes, and personalities mark their differences, and different paths and achievements mark their successes. 21. Ginger Baker's influence. Ginger Baker was a legendary drummer who played with both Clapton and Page in two of the most influential bands of the late 60s, Cream and Blind Faith. Rhythm mastery, jazz rock, and African influences marked his drumming. He also had a fiery and eccentric personality, clashing often with his bandmates. Baker's influence could have fueled the rivalry between Clapton and Page, as he was both a catalyst and a competitor for them. As a catalyst, he helped form their bands and achieve musical excellence. As a competitor, he challenged their skill and intensity, overshadowing them sometimes with solos and antics. A close and complex relationship bound Baker to Clapton and Page, and he often gave them praise and criticism. Clapton's guitar playing earned his admiration, but his fame and popularity stirred his resentment. Page's musical vision gained his respect, but his guitar ability raised his doubt. He influenced their musical careers, but he also fueled their tension and rivalry. 20. Guitar Hero games. Guitar Hero is a popular video game series that lets players simulate playing guitar along with famous rock songs. Clapton and Page are both featured in several Guitar Hero games, but Clapton has his own game, Guitar Hero Eric Clapton, while Page does not. Guitar Hero Eric Clapton was released in 2011, and it contains 25 songs from Clapton's solo and band career, including Cream, Blind Faith, and Derek and the Dominoes. It also features interviews, photos, and videos of Clapton, and a special guitar controller modeled after his signature Fender Stratocaster. Page's involvement in the game series is less prominent, as he only appears in a few games such as Guitar Hero 3, Legends of Rock, Guitar Hero World Tour, and Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock. His songs are mostly from Led Zeppelin, but also include some from the Yardbirds and the Firm. He does not have any exclusive content or controller for his songs. Fans speculate that this difference might be a source of tension for Page, who might feel that Clapton has more recognition and respect from the game developers and players. Clapton's game could seem like a legacy tribute, while his songs could seem like filler. Clapton could have a Guitar Hero rivalry advantage. 19. Fashion clash. Eric Clapton and Jimmy Page are two guitar icons with different fashion choices. Clapton's style was classic and understated, wearing plain shirts, jeans, jackets, and boots. He also sported a beard and sunglasses. His look was simple and elegant, but also cool and confident. His guitar playing spoke for itself. Page's style was flamboyant and extravagant, wearing colorful and elaborate outfits such as velvet suits, scarves, jackets, and boas. He also had long hair and accessories such as hats, necklaces, and rings. The look was daring and adventurous, but also playful and theatrical. Through his clothes, he expressed his creativity and charisma. Their fashion choices could show their rivalry as they tried to stand out and differentiate themselves. Clapton's style suggested maturity and seriousness, while Page's style suggested youthfulness and fun. Clapton's style also implied loyalty to the blues, while Page's style implied openness to experimentation and innovation. Their style also reflected their musical preferences and influences, as Clapton was influenced by American blues artists, while Page was influenced by British folk and psychedelic rock. Their style, like their music, was a source of inspiration and admiration for many fans and musicians. 18. Rumored studio fights. Despite their several collaborations, Eric Clapton and Jimmy Page, two legendary guitarists, have clashed and disagreed in the studio. According to some unconfirmed reports, their clashes stemmed from their different musical visions and styles, as well as their egos and ambitions. One of the most notorious incidents occurred in 1965, when Page produced some recordings of Clapton and John Mayall's Blues Breakers. Page was excited about the results and wanted to release them on Immediate Records, a label he was working with. However, Clapton was unhappy with the sound quality and the unauthorized use of his material. He threatened to sue Page and the label, and the recordings were shelved for years. Another example of their friction happened in 1984, when they joined forces with Jeff Beck for the ARMS charity concerts, a series of shows to raise money for multiple sclerosis research. The three guitarists performed together on stage, but they also had some arguments and tensions backstage. Page later recalled that Clapton was very difficult and very moody during the tour, and that he felt a bit left out by the other two. Their studio clashes could be seen as a reflection of their unresolved rivalry, as they competed for recognition and respect in the rock scene. Clapton and Page both admired and influenced each other, but they also tried to outdo and challenge each other. Their clashes, like their music, were a source of drama and intrigue for many fans and musicians. 17. Touring disputes. Eric Clapton and Jimmy Page are two rock legends who have shared the stage on several occasions, but also had some disputes and resentment over their set lists and stage time. Their disagreements stem from their different expectations and preferences, as well as their pride and status. In 1983, Clapton and Page had a famous conflict at the ARMS charity concerts, a series of shows for multiple sclerosis research. The concerts had different musicians such as Jeff Beck, Steve Winwood, Bill Wyman, and Charlie Watts. Clapton and Page played on their own, but also together for some songs like Layla and Stairway to Heaven. However, their collaboration was not smooth and harmonious. Clapton later revealed that he and Page had a lot of arguments over the set lists and the stage time, and that they never really agreed on anything. Clapton wanted to play more blues songs and less rock songs, while Page wanted the opposite. Clapton also wanted to play for a shorter time and leave the stage earlier, while Page wanted to play for longer and stay on the stage longer. Clapton felt that Page was trying to steal the show and that he was not very generous. Their disputes could be seen as a reflection of their unresolved rivalry as they competed for recognition and respect in the rock scene. Clapton and Page both respected and admired each other, but they also tried to outshine and challenge each other. 16. Philanthropy comparison. The two guitar icons also had very different charity work priorities. Clapton's charity work is mainly about addiction recovery, a cause that he cares deeply about. The Crossroads Center in Antigua, which he founded, offers treatment for people with drug and alcohol issues. The Crossroads Guitar Festival, a biennial concert that he organizes, raises funds for the center and features many renowned artists. Clapton has also contributed to other charitable organizations such as UNICEF and Amnesty International. Page's charity work is less publicized but not less important. He has supported causes such as Action for Brazil's Children Trust, a foundation that helps street children and young people in Brazil. He donated to charities such as Nordhoff Robbins and Task Brazel. He has also performed at various charity concerts such as Live Aid and Music for Montserrat. Some fans speculate that Clapton may not appreciate the comparison to Page's charity work because he may think that his cause is more personal and relevant, and that his events are more successful and popular. However, these speculations are not based on facts or evidence. Clapton and Page may have different approaches and motivations for their charity work, but they both share a common goal of helping others and making a positive difference in the world. 15. Guitar tech sabotage. On stage, Clapton and Page have faced some tech troubles. Their tech teams have different views and tastes on how to run the sound, lighting, and gear. Clapton and Page have distinct styles and sounds, and they require different setups and tweaks. Eric Clapton prefers a clear tone, a Fender Stratocaster, and blues and rock. Jimmy Page features a distorted sound, a Gibson Les Paul, and various genres. Conflicts may arise among the tech teams on how to mix and adjust the sounds, change the volumes and effects, and handle the feedback and noise. The tech teams may also compete to please the artists. Difficulties and setbacks such as faulty cables, broken strings, or power failures may also occur. These troubles may lead to glitches such as sound issues, equipment malfunctions, or performance interruptions. However, these glitches may also add some thrill and spontaneity to their shows and demonstrate their skills and professionalism. Clapton and Page may also surmount their tech troubles and give amazing performances as they have proven many times before. 14. Fanbase allegiances. Eric Clapton and Jimmy Page have different fan bases. Clapton's fans may like his classic blues, his expressive voice, and his solo career. Page's fans may like his adventurous rock, his creative effects, and his role in Led Zeppelin. The idol's skills, achievements, influences, innovations, and collaborations may spark clashes among the fan bases. These idols' personal lives, such as their relationships, controversies, and charity work, may also trigger clashes among their fans. The clashes could breed animosity, as fans may experience defensiveness, offense, jealousy, or resentment. They may also experience loyalty, protection, or pride. The clashes could also inspire appreciation and curiosity, as fans may discover more about the other artist and their music. Common ground or similarities may emerge, and they may respect and admire each other. They may also enjoy both artists' music and appreciate their diversity. 13. The guitar duel that never was. As the 60s unfolded, the legend of a mythical guitar duel between Clapton and Page began to circulate. Whispers of a showdown, a battle of the strings, fueled the imaginations of fans. The buzz reached such heights that promoters were eager to stage the ultimate guitar clash, Clapton versus Page, a duel for the ages. However, it never materialized. Some say it was Clapton's hesitation, fearing he might tarnish his reputation if he lost. Others claim Page wasn't keen on being outshined by the reigning guitar god. The missed opportunity fueled rumors of unspoken tension, leaving fans to forever wonder who would have emerged victorious in this epic battle of the six strings. The hypothetical duel became a symbol of the simmering rivalry, adding another layer to the complex relationship between Clapton and Page. 12. Live performance comparisons. The guitar legends may have felt some rivalry in their live performances. Their skills and presence are often compared by fans and critics. Clapton is known for his precision, smoothness, and emotion. He is also praised for his improvisation, interaction, and versatility, but he is criticized for being predictable, conservative, and dependent on his signature songs. Page is known for his speed, power, and charisma. He is also admired for his creativity, experimentation, and originality, but he is criticized for being sloppy, flashy, and inconsistent. Their live performances could make them feel competitive with each other as they try to showcase their skills and impress their fans and critics. They may also try to challenge and surpass each other and to prove their dominance in the rock scene. 11. Musical festival dominance. Sharing the stage and the spotlight with other artists at music festivals may have created some rivalry between the two rock stars Eric Clapton and Jimmy Page. Clapton and Page have different views and experiences of music festivals. Clapton is more of a traditionalist, and he might prefer smaller and more intimate venues where he can play his blues songs. He might also prefer more control and order and avoid the chaos and unpredictability of music festivals. Page, on the other hand, is more of an adventurer and enjoys the thrill and excitement of music festivals where he can play his rock songs. He might also enjoy the challenge and opportunity of music festivals where he can improvise and experiment with his sound and effects. Their views and experiences could make them feel unhappy or competitive with each other, as they might feel that they are not getting the respect or recognition that they deserve. Thinking that they lose or give up their musical identity or integrity, they may also try to prove their dominance in the rock scene. Fans and musicians often compare and contrast their views and experiences of music festivals as well as their music. 10. Page's mystique. Eric Clapton and Jimmy Page are two guitar icons who have different personas and images. Clapton is straightforward and honest, while Page is mysterious and secretive. Clapton has been open and candid about his life and career, and he has shared his personal issues, his autobiography, and his opinions and feelings with his fans and the public. Page, on the other hand, has been elusive and enigmatic about his life and career, and he has kept his personal issues, his biography, and his opinions and feelings to himself and his close friends. Their personas and images could clash as they show their different attitudes and values. Clapton's persona could suggest that he is humble, sincere, confident, and comfortable, while Page's image could suggest that he is arrogant, secretive, insecure, and guarded. Their musical preferences and influences could also show in their personas and images, as American blues artists inspire Clapton, while occult and mystical sources fascinate Page. Clapton and Page have contrasting personas and images that reveal their distinct attitudes and values. Their music is often compared and contrasted by fans and musicians. 9. Solo album success. The two guitar legends may have felt some rivalry in their solo careers. Their solo success is often compared by fans and critics who may have different views on who is better or more deserving of praise. Clapton has been more consistent and prolific in his solo career, releasing over 20 albums and winning 18 Grammys. He has also collaborated with many artists from different genres and earned the nickname Slow Hand and 3 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductions. Page has been more sporadic and selective in his solo career, releasing only 2 albums and winning a Grammy. He has also focused more on his own projects and interests such as film soundtracks, occult and mystical subjects, and Led Zeppelin's catalog. He has also kept his status as a legendary and innovative guitarist, earning the nickname Lead Wallet and 2 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductions. Their solo success could cause them to feel competitive with each other as they try to prove their skills and achievements to impress and please their fans and critics. They may also try to challenge and surpass each other and to show their dominance in the rock scene. 8. Social media presence. Eric Clapton and Jimmy Page also have very different social media habits. Clapton is more active and engaged, while Page is more passive and reserved. Clapton posts regularly and interacts with his fans and followers on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. He shares updates and news about his music, tours, and charity work, as well as personal photos and videos. He has over 9 million followers on Facebook, 1.2 million on Twitter, 1.4 million on Instagram, and 1.6 million on YouTube. Page, on the other hand, posts occasionally and rarely interacts with his fans and followers on Instagram. He mainly shares archival photos and stories from his musical career, as well as some current events and projects. He has over 1.8 million followers on Instagram. Their social media activity could show their different strategies and goals, as well as their confidence and popularity. It could also reflect their musical preferences and influences, as Clapton is more influenced by American blues artists, while Page is more influenced by occult and mystical sources. Their social media activity, like their music, is often compared and contrasted by fans and musicians. 7. Award show competition. Eric Clapton and Jimmy Page are two guitar legends who may have felt some tension and competition at award shows, where they had to share the stage and the spotlight with other artists. Their rivalry at award shows could reflect their feud, as they sought recognition and respect in the rock scene. They have different achievements and feelings about award shows. Clapton has won more awards and performed more often than Page, who has received less recognition and praise. Clapton has also received many tributes and accolades from his peers and fans who admire his talent and versatility. Page, on the other hand, has won fewer awards and performed less often than Clapton, who has received more recognition and praise. Page has also received fewer tributes and accolades from his peers and fans who respect his innovation and influence. Their different records and experiences could cause them to feel unhappy or competitive with each other, as they might feel that they are not getting the attention or respect that they deserve. They might also feel that they are competing or comparing with each other and trying to prove their superiority or dominance in the rock scene. Their award show histories, like their music, are often compared and contrasted by fans and musicians. 6. Guitar gear wars. Clapton and Page use different equipment for their guitars. Clapton loves vintage gear, especially Fender Stratocasters and Marshall amps. He rarely experiments with new or modern gear. He thinks his vintage gear gives him the best tone and feel. He keeps his gear original and authentic. Page explores a wide range of equipment, from Gibson Les Pauls and Dan Electro guitars to Vox and high-watt amps. Various effects and gadgets such as wah-wah pedals, theremins, and violin bows were also used by him. He believes his gear choices offer him the opportunity and freedom to create new and original sounds. His gear is modified and customized by him to suit his needs and tastes. Their gear choices could cause some friction and tension between them. They represent their different musical visions and personalities. Clapton's vintage gear could suggest that he is more conservative and traditional, while Page's wide range of equipment could suggest that he is more progressive and innovative. 5. Supergroup tensions. Eric Clapton and Jimmy Page were in supergroups, Cream and Led Zeppelin. Their collaborations had different dynamics and challenges. They may have felt some unspoken tensions as they competed for recognition and respect. Clapton became part of Cream in 1966 and departed in 1968. As the lead guitarist, vocalist, and songwriter, he liked the creative freedom and chemistry, but had conflicts and frustrations with his bandmates. As the lead guitarist, producer, and main songwriter, Page was part of Led Zeppelin from 1968 to 1980. He enjoyed the diversity and innovation, but also faced difficulties and pressures with his bandmates. Their experiences could cause tensions. They represented their different musical visions and personalities. Clapton's experience could suggest that he was more dissatisfied and restless, while Page's experience could suggest that he was more satisfied and loyal. 4. Influence over blues revival. They played a big role in the blues revival of the 60s. Clapton is often seen as a key figure, while Page's contributions are sometimes overlooked. Could this overshadowing cause tension between them? Clapton and Page were influenced by the blues and popularized it. Clapton played with blues bands and American blues legends. he is a great blues guitarist. Page played with several blues bands and produced some blues albums. He is an innovative and influential guitarist. Their contributions to the blues revival could create friction. They show their different musical visions and personalities. Clapton's contributions could suggest he is more authentic and faithful, while Page's contributions could suggest he is more eclectic and experimental. Both of their music was influenced by their involvement in the blues revival. Competition in the rock scene could also cause tension between them. 3. Personal life publicity. How they dealt with their problems were different. Clapton was public and expressive, while Page was private and reserved. Clapton might see Page as avoiding vulnerability, and that might create resentment. Addiction, love affairs, and a son's death were faced by Clapton. Music was used by him to cope and heal, and he shared his emotions and experiences. Songs like Tears in Heaven, Cocaine, and Layla were written by him. He also published his autobiography. Drug abuse, occult interests, and legal battles were faced by Page. His issues were kept private and seldom revealed in music. Songs like Stairway to Heaven, Whole Lotta Love, and Kashmir were written by him. He refused to write his biography. Their ways of dealing with struggles show their different attitudes and values. Clapton's way could suggest he is more honest and sincere, while Page's way could suggest he is more secretive and arrogant. How they dealt with struggles influenced their music. The challenges that shaped their music also made them fascinating and admirable. 2. Artistic direction dispute. Eric Clapton and Jimmy Page collaborated on some projects but disagreed on the artistic direction. Clapton liked blues while Page liked experiments. This could and did cause creative clashes. Clapton recorded Honest Man with Page in 1965. He was unhappy with the song and wanted to change it. Page wanted to keep it. The session was tense and awkward. They performed at the Arms charity concerts in 1983 and argued over the set lists and the stage time. Clapton wanted more blues and less rock, while Page wanted the opposite. Clapton also wanted to play shorter and leave earlier, while Page wanted to play longer and stay longer. Their disagreements showed their different musical visions and personalities. Clapton's blues approach could suggest he was more mature and serious, while Page's experimental tendencies could suggest he was more youthful and fun. 1. Age-old competition. For over 50 years, they have been both friends and rivals. They come from different backgrounds, have different influences, styles, and sounds. Clapton plays the blues and performs solo, while Page rocks out and collaborates with bands. They have both faced challenges and achieved success in the rock scene. Their competition is driven by various factors such as their skills, achievements, lives, relationships, images, popularity, and awards. They are also compared and contrasted by their fans and critics who have different views on who is better or more impressive. Competition may persist between them as they have much to offer and prove. They both remain active and relevant with passion and creativity. They enjoy respect and admiration with influence and inspiration. They are legends with legacy and impact. Their competition, like their music, fascinates and admires. Wasn't that a roller coaster of drama? We're dying to hear your thoughts and opinions, so don't be shy. Hit us up in the comments section. And hey, if you enjoyed this wild ride through rock history, make sure to hit that subscribe button because we've got more backstage stories and controversial tales coming your way. Thanks for watching.